Hey guys, welcome back to the Book Nook Corner. It's Courtney. So I'm excited about today's video. This is one that I've wanted to make for so long, but just always put it off, and I don't really know why, because I love dragons and anything dragon related, always have, even when I was a kid. This is not a new situation here for me. Today is going to be my Dragon Fantasy TBR of physical books that I currently own. I was actually shocked as I was walking around looking at all of my different shelves and bookshelves and little bookish places where I hide books in my house. I was shocked at the amount that I had. I knew they existed, but I just kind of had forgotten how many exactly I had. So that is what I have right here for you today, is my personal physical dragon books. And then I also thought I would do a separate video showing you my kind of Kindle Unlimited or digital library of Dragon Fantasy books. So if you want to see that also, please leave a dragon emoji in the comment section down below and I can record that as well. 15 books. Wow. I did not even mean for it to be that nice of a little number either. This may seem a smidge unpractical as far as the amount, but I'm not the most practical person on the face of the planet. Let's just begin. The first one I would have to say, and this is one that I have been wanting to get to and read dragon-wise for like so long, and that is Eragon by Christopher Paolini. Just ignore my half-price book sticker. I just did my nails and I don't want to ruin them. We're just gonna leave that on there. But yeah, this is kind of like your OG of dragon books. This is like the Harry Potter of dragon books, and it has been around for quite a while. Here is the description for your little cute eyes to read. This is one that I definitely want to get on with. And while we're speaking of that and that world and that author, this also recently came out, and it's called Murtaugh by Christopher Paolini. I believe this is a character in the Eragon series. I don't think so. I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that you have to read Eragon before or after or whatever reading this. I think you can read this really at any time, but this just looked like so amazing per the cover. I mean, hello, so cool. Here is the description of that one. Yes, I do have to say this was kind of one that just caught my eye, and I knew it was from the same author as Eragon, so here we are. I want to read both. The next one I'm going to talk about is Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. This is what they based House of the Dragon, that is on, I believe, HBO Max or whatever that's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is 300 years before A Game of Thrones. Dragons ruled Westeros. So this is like a prequel. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I heard that it's a little bit different, if you want to pause right there. I heard it's a little bit different writing-wise, kind of, but I'm still going to give it a shot. The next book I want to read, of course, is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This is like the big-ass floppy. Look how floppy she is. Big-ass paperback. I do have the mass market paperback as well. I have the whole entire set in mass market, but I just had to get this because I watched the entire show. All, I think, 8 seasons of it. Loved it. So good. I've watched all of House of the Dragon so far as well, and like just love them. They're gory, they're a little bit much sometimes, but they're good, and I cannot wait to read this. So here is the description on the back. This is just epic fantasy, like as epic as you can get, pretty much. The next book I have on my list is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. So I did read his other series, well, the first book in his other series, let's be real. He has more than one series. I think it's The Throne of the Fallen, The Faithful and the Fallen. So I did read Malice, and I do want to continue that series. I literally read it probably close to 2 years ago, and I just have yet to pick it up for whatever reason. It's kind of annoying, but yes, definitely want to get back to his worlds and read this. I mean, this is just such an epic cover. The dragon continues on the back. So cool. Here's the description. So yeah, excited for this one. I'm excited to kind of get back into my epic fantasy days. That is really all I used to read. And then romantasy became a thing, and I love a little bit of romance, but I wasn't a fan of romance books, so that was just like the greatest combination for me ever. But I do miss just straight epic fantasy. So I would like to get back to that if possible. So the next book I would like to read is a fairly new-ish release, and that is Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. I believe this is based off of Chinese mythology, if I'm not mistaken. And just the cover, I pre-ordered this. When it came in the mail, I was like so excited. Like, just look at how gorgeous that is. Stunning, stunning, stunning. There is no gorgeousness inside as much, however, but here is the description. Super intrigued by this one. The next book on my list is His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik. These are kind of like the OG dragon books in my opinion. This and the next one that I'm going to talk about. This is the Temeraire series. I believe I have the first 5 or 6. That might be all that there is actually. I'm not even really totally positive. I don't know that much about the series other than that it's about dragons and it sounded intriguing to me. So here is the description if you would like to read. The next book on my list is Dragons of Autumn Twilight. This is the Dungeons & Dragons Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 1 by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. I believe this is the first one that you're supposed to read. If it isn't and I'm wrong, please correct me, but that I know of, this is the first one. I love these little, like, whenever I was like, I would say middle school age, I loved my epic fantasy, like I said, and mostly all that was kind of really available then, or at least that I for some reason picked up, was the mass market paperback. So these kind of hold like a little special place in my heart because this was the main ones that I read at the time. So here is the description if you want to pause. And I mean, Of Autumn Twilight, right now would be the perfect time to read this, girlies. So the next book on my list is of course The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. I just love this cover. I have the whole entire trilogy. Don't really ask me why because I haven't read this one yet, but I did decide to get the whole trilogy quite a while ago, and it's just such like an epic cover and such. Like, I just am excited to read this. Here is the description. It's very little, sorry. The next book on my list is Glow of the Everflame, the Kindred's Curse Saga Book 2 by Penn Cole. So I did, of course, read the first book in this series. Absolutely adored it. The first book did not have any sort of dragon-y thing to it whatsoever, but I have heard that this and the rest of the series does. So we're gonna just put it in here. We're gonna hang on to it. I'm not gonna show you the descriptions that I don't spoil for the first book, but just know that this is definitely on my TBR. The next book on my list is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This is the prequel to The Priory of the Orange Tree. I have yet to read this. It is a chunker. Let me see how many pages here. 850 pages. I really liked Priory of the Orange Tree, which I do have here as well. I have literally read this book 3 times. I adore this book. Love it, love it, love it. It is so good. It is the definition of epic fantasy. The dragons are kind of at a distance. They're not like dragon riding, you know, dragon breeding, they're in your dungeon as a pet type of situation. They are very distant. They are very feral / wild, whatever way you want to look at them, but they are still present and they are still in the story and they are still interesting and they make it epic. And I want to reread this as well as read the prequel. So we might do a read them together situation like I like to do. I mean, it's me we're talking about. Here is the description in the back. Yeah, excited for that one. The next book I have is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. So this has 2 or 3 books, I believe, in the series. I have really been wanting to read this for quite a while. I've heard that it is amazing and that it's very good. So I believe this has some like African lore or kind of background in it, which I've always found interesting and loved, and I'm excited for this one. So here is the description. Super intriguing, this one. So the last 2 on this list is Dragon Rider and Dragon Rider. Imagine that. So this one I had first. This is from Cornelia Funk. This is a middle grade book, I believe, and this is a hardback. I thought this was super pretty. Got it at half price for like $3. Like I said, I got this one first and I got it quite a while ago. As you can see, there's a little boy and a cat, a dog, I'm not really sure, on the back of this dragon. So here is the description in the back. And then the adult version of that, which is one that just recently came out, I believe this past spring or so, is Dragon Rider Book 1 of the Soulbound Saga by Taran Matharu. I heard that this is reminiscent of Fourth Wing, so I'm very curious to read this. It looks amazing. I haven't actually really heard about anybody reading this or heard any reviews on it, So I'm very curious to see what it's about and how it goes, but there is the description. I just kind of had to put those in together because I found that funny. I didn't even realize it literally until I went to start getting these books that I had two of the same name. Funny. Yeah, so that is the end of my Dragon Fantasy TBR. Like I said, if you would like to see the Kindle Unlimited / ebook version of that, let me know. I will film that as well and share the ones that I have on my ebooks or my e-readers and my Kindle Unlimited or Kobo Plus. I do have a couple on Kobo Plus as well, so let me know if that's something you'd like to see. Go check out all of my links down below with all of my book clubs and discords and such. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!